Hey folks, I am back with a weekly check-in. I know it's been a little bit, but I want to make sure that I'm getting back to these now that things have kind of calmed down a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and try to cover all the stuff we've got going on for this week. So we are on our last module, which is great. This is module 8, and you should be completing the readings for the last set of lessons, the PA assignment number 8, and the final one, obviously. We have a creative life discussion, and then obviously quiz 8 as well. Additionally, remember that we do have the final project coming up. You will have all of next week to work on that, and then it will be due at the end of next week. So you've got, lots of like the whole week to work on that. There's no other readings, no other stuff that's going on. Um, and then we do, like I said, have a final exam, and it can be taken anytime from, and I need to update this. It can be taken anytime from, I believe it is the 2nd of May until, which is like the Thursday of next week, and the 7th, which is Wednesday. So I'll walk you through that in just a second as well. So hopefully that's not confusing for you. So let's go to module 8 first. This might be a little bit of a longer weekly check-in, so I do apologize, but since we've missed a few weeks, I want to make sure that we're all caught up in everything. Um, module 8, I go all the way down here at the bottom, wherever she is. There we go. Click there. We'll do our readings as normal. Please make sure to watch the videos that are included in here that go along with the textbook reading. And obviously our pages are listed right here where we've got that at. And then if we go back, we've got our PA assignment, which it's, the same kind of format as the ones we've had before. The first question is to identify and describe key characteristics and defining events of art from the 20th century to present. You don't have to go super in depth on that if you don't want to. It's just, a few here and there. I'd say like, 5 or 6 maybe at the most. Compare and contrast two works of art from a similar period. Compare and contrast two works of art from different cultures and periods in terms of formal qualities, context, and meaning. And 3 or 4, analyze a modern work of art and describe how it borrows from or is influenced by an earlier work of art. There is an example that we have. It's Felix Torres's, and it's from the book, and there's a video on it. It's the last video in our folder. So don't use that one, but any other one is totally fine to do. And then lastly, our creative life discussion, which is just kind of a, not super relevant to the material we're going over this week or anything, but just something to kind of think about as we move out of this class. So this is a discussion. As we enter the end of the course, I would like for you to consider how you use creativity in your daily life. Maybe this is something that you already know, or something you already know to be a creative outlet, or maybe it is something that this course has made you think about as a creative outlet. Creativity is defined as the ability to bring forth to fruition what is imagined. While artists are generally labeled as creative, non-artists find all sorts of ways to bring creativity into their lives. Hard work will get you from point A to point B, but creativity makes the ride a lot more meaningful. This assignment asks you to reflect seriously upon your own creativity. In what ways would you be considered creative? Speak to how you do or what you do is creative, and what satisfaction or frustration you get out of this activity. So it's pretty simple. All I want you to do is add a thread with a picture of your creative endeavor. So, for example, if you are, a good cook or a baker or something like that, you can, take a picture of a lovely meal, a beautifully landscaped yard, a painting. If you have a more kind of like conventional art outlet, or even like, if you build things, like if you helped your dad build a deck last year or something like that, anything can, a lot of things that are not conventionally creative are still creative. So just kind of think about how your own life, you have those creative aspects. Um, Also, please make sure that your photo is good quality, and it's like, accurately depicting what it is that you're trying to talk about. And again, if you don't consider yourself creative in any way, now is definitely the time to start. You definitely, I mean, I think I speak for myself, but I think I speak for everybody. Having some sort of creative outlet to express yourself and to, just make things do, like, have some sort of product that you can say, I did this and feel accomplished, is a really powerful thing for, just individuals to have, and just, to be able to see the product of your creativity. So yeah, we'll definitely start thinking about some different hobbies or, some different ways in your life that you might not traditionally think as being creative, but are. Um, After you've decided or, you have taken a photo of your uh, creative endeavor, add a short paragraph about your creative endeavor, and be sure to relate your creativity to concepts that we've studied in the course. And then I want you to comment to at least three classmates in a thoughtful way, like 2 to 3 sentences, just more than just good job or like, cool, that sort of thing. I want you to kind of, go into a little bit more detail. And then quiz 8, and that is all you have to do for module 8. I know there's a few things in there, but it shouldn't. There's not a ton of reading this week. Really, this assignment might take you a little bit longer than the other two PA assignments, but there's less videos and less readings than there have been in the past. So you should be good to go. Now, moving on to the final project. I think I've talked about this another time, but I'll say it again. I'm not gonna go over all of the specifics with the project because I do have a separate video for that. Um, you go into the projects folder, click on the final project, and I've got like a 20-minute video, or it's like 19 minutes and something video explaining the final project. So that is going to be, what you use, like what's going to be helpful for developing the project. So after you watch that, be sure to watch that first because it's going to get confusing otherwise. I want you to read the instructions carefully, or maybe read them alongside of when I'm, showing you in this video. Read the instructions very carefully. Um, Make sure that you read this little part right here that talks about how to upload the link properly, because since we're kind of working until the last minute on this project before we start doing grading and all of that, if you don't upload your site correctly, there is the potential for you to not receive a grade for the final project and to receive a 0 as the grade. I've had this happen a couple times in online classes before. It's very rare, but if you don't upload the link properly, I won't be able to view your site and there is nothing for me to grade you on. And I will, go above and beyond to try to get in contact with you. I'll contact your advisor. I'll contact, you directly through all of your different methods of communication. But I have had instances in the past where someone has uploaded a link to their project that did not work because they didn't follow the rules that are right here. And I had to give them a 0 because I just couldn't get in contact with them. And then that person didn't take note of it or didn't check their final grade until like a couple months later, and then they were really upset because they turned in their final project and didn't get a grade for it. So please make sure that your link works. If you want to test it and send it to me through email, you can definitely do that. But as long as you're following the instructions that I've got right here in bold, and I cover as well, kind of walking through it more in depth in the video, you should be fine. But just a fair warning, I have had that happen before, specifically with online classes. With my in-person classes, I can usually track the person down a little bit easier, but with online, where I'm not meeting you guys in person, it can be a little bit harder. So please make sure to check your email after you turn in the project just to make sure nothing went wrong. And if I'm trying to get in touch with you, it will be hard to not know that I am. So that's the final project. And then lastly, our final exam, which I haven't really talked about too much. If you go down here to the final exam, there is a part A and there's a part B. Part B is reused quiz questions. There's 25, and they're all coming from our previous quizzes that we've taken. I really just choose these kind of at random. Sometimes I choose the ones that we scored lower on, but there will not be any questions in part B that you have not seen before. So, look back at your quizzes if you'd like to, or, whatever you need to do there, but you have seen all of these questions. Part A, on the other hand, this is a curriculum designed exam, and this is like what all of the art appreciation classes have to take. So it is also 25 questions, and I've got you a Jeopardy style study guide right here that you can study from and, more or less have the answers to if you just, do the study guide. So highly recommend doing that. It'll make the exam a lot easier if you do the study guide first. But you will have access to part A and part B. Let's look at the calendar here. A little calendar app. It will start on, It'll start on May 2nd, which is Thursday of next week at 4 p.m. It will open, and then it will remain open until the 7th. So you've got Thursday after 4, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday until 4 p.m. to take both parts. You have to make sure you click on part A and part B. They're not the same exam. You have to click on them separately, like if it were two different quizzes, to take both of those parts. So if you don't take it by then, that is like the university's cutoff date. So I can't extend it past that. So please make sure to, submit those. I'll put another reminder in next week just so that we're sure that we get it turned in and everything. I also want to suggest that with the final or with the part A and part B, if you've got an hour, on Friday or something and you want to take only one part, then you can just take part A. And then if you've got another hour on Monday, you can take part B. They do not have to be taken at the same time. You can space them out. There's no, you don't have to take them both. Now, when you start one, you do have to finish it. I mean, like you have to finish part A if you open part A, just like you would a quiz or anything else. And but you don't have to immediately start on part B. You can wait until you want to take that one to be in it. Each of these have 60 minutes on them to complete. So, and it shouldn't take you that long, honestly. I mean, it probably will take most of y'all like, 20, 30 minutes the most. But you've got that whole time allotted to you if you need it. And just make sure that you're looking at the timer before I don't want you to open it and then, walk away or something and then the timer run out on you. But that's everything for the remainder of the semester. I will post some more reminders on that. And also do another weekly check-in next week just to remind as well about the project and everything. If you would like, I've had a few people want to schedule a meeting with me to talk about the final project, to just get clarification if it's needed. And if you would like to do that, I'm more than happy to meet with you. You just email me and we will set up a time to meet via Zoom. And I can help you start the project, help you think of some ideas, do whatever we need to do there. One more reminder, and I'll try to put this in the actual, like after I I finish this and I post it, I'll put a little checklist of things that I went over. The last thing I wanted to mention, I know this class is very short. It's only 8 weeks. And if you miss a week of the classes or something, like that's a big percentage of your grade that is that's negatively affected. I want to remind y'all that we do have extra credit opportunities. They have to be turned into me no later than May 5th. But if you go over here to this course information tab and you go all the way below the schedule, I've got the instructions for that right here about attending a gallery. And each time you go to a gallery, you can go to a max of 3 times. So, 3 different galleries, you will receive 2 points of extra credit. So that can be a maximum of 6 points extra credit, meaning that if your grade is an 84 and you go to all 3 extra credit opportunities, then your grade will be raised to a 90, which will be an A. So that can, pretty significantly affect your grade if you use that, wisely. But again, those have to be done by May 5th. And I have had this semester, please ask for approval before you go to a museum. I mean, if you go to like the Rausch Gallery that's on the Gaston College campus, or if you go to like the Mint Museum or the Beckler Museum in Charlotte, those are, already approved. You don't have to ask about those. But I have had a few students that have requested to attend a gallery that was not like arts based. It was more like history based, or, more like artifacts, like not like pieces of art necessarily. And like those are good, but that's not going to fit for our class. That's not really what we're focusing in. That would be more if you were, in some sort of history class, but not for art appreciation. We need to make sure that we're looking at artworks, not like fossils or old guns and things like that. That's not really what we're looking at here. Um, so yeah, that is all I have, I think, for this week. If I think of anything else, I'll try to include it in the announcement and in the email. But I hope y'all have a great rest of your week, and just please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you.